A pneumonia-like illness was found to be a new virus, which is the SARS-CoV-2. This virus can cause illness, which is called COVID-19. How does COVID-19 affect our lives? The least serious are those people who are subclinical or who have the virus but have no symptoms, also called asymptomatic. Next are those who get an infection on the upper respiratory tract, which means a person has a fever and a cough and even milder symptoms like headaches or conjunctivitis. Are those who develop severe illness that features pneumonia. COVID-19 patient will develop a cough and fever. This is the result of the infection reaching the respiratory tree, where the air passages that conduct air between the lungs and the outside. And if this gets worse, it goes to the gas exchange units, which are the end of air passages. Epithelial cells. Human lung epithelial cells are likely among the first targets to encounter invading severe acute respiratory syndrome associated coronavirus or the SARS-CoV. If it becomes infected, it responds by pouring out inflammation material such as fluids and inflammatory cells into the air sacs that are at the bottom of our lungs. Lungs with inflammatory material are unable to get enough oxygen to the bloodstream, reducing the body's ability to take on oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Not only can these cells support the growth of SARS-CoV infection, but they are also capable of secreting inflammatory cytokines to initiate and eventually aggravate host innate inflammatory responses, causing detrimental immune-mediated pathology within the lungs. A comprehensive evaluation of the complex epithelial signaling to SARS-CoV is crucial for paving the way to better understand SARS pathogenesis. The respiratory tract is lined with epithelial cells that have different functions in the respiratory tract. The nasal and sinusoidal epithelium, conducting airways, tracheal and bronchial epithelium, and alveolar epithelial cells, and all of these are susceptible to infection with a variety of respiratory viruses.
Neutrophil is a granulocyte that is the chief phagocytic white blood cell of the blood. These cells are the first cells to arrive on the scene when we experience bacterial infections. Neutrophils also help regulate the immune response in general. It has a very short lifespan, living on average only 8 hours, but our bodies produce roughly 100 billion on these cells each day.
Acid in the blood or respiratory acidosis and alkalosis. It is a condition in which the carbon dioxide builds up very quickly before the kidney can return the body to the state of balance. Some people with chronic respiratory acidosis get acute respiratory acidosis because an acute illness makes their body condition worse and disrupts their body's acid-base balance, affecting the nerves and muscles that signal the lungs to inflate or deplete. The normal pH balance must be maintained within the narrow range, typically from 7.35 to 7.45, to ensure the proper function of the metabolic processes and the delivery of right amount of oxygen to tissues. So if you have problem with the balance of pH level in your blood, you may develop hypoxemia. Patient may continue to have increased work of breathing or hypoxemia even when oxygen is delivered by a face mask with reservoir bag. Hypoxemic respiratory failure or ARDS commonly result from intrapulmonary ventilation, perfusion mismatch, or shunt, or usually requires mechanical ventilation. Okay. SARS and the virus that causes COVID-19 are similarly genetic makeup. Both of them have the spike that would connect to the receptor. SARS-CoV-2, the causative agent of COVID-19, seems to use ACE
Memory cell in our immune system is organized army of different immune cells and secreted proteins, antibodies which attack the foreign invaders in an organized and orchestrated manner. First exposure to invader is the first line defense. Neutrophils, natural killer cells, which then call in the second line of defense. Lymphocytes, which constitute acquired immunity. These lymphocytes, T and B cells, enhance actions against invader and destroy it. All lymphocytes participating in immune response die out. The immune response is further down-regulated by the regulatory cell. A few lymphocytes which recognize tissue particular invader become memory cell and remain hidden in the healthy body. The memory cell have the potential to act in a faster and swifter fashion in the next time invader tries to enter the body. By vaccination, increase memory T cells and B cells against immunizing agent. mRNA 1273 as a basis for SARS-CoV. This S protein complex is necessary for membrane fusion and host cell infection and has been the target of vaccines against the coronaviruses, responsible for severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS-CoV, transferring the instruction stored in DNA to make the protein required in every living cell. mRNA is single-stranded molecule that carries genetic code from DNA in a cell nucleus to ribosomes. The cell's protein-making machinery, mRNA sequence to the cell responsible for making the protein via one of the several modalities. Reaching different types of cells requires different delivery method.